It's not about spaceships.
Hello, YouTube.com, Twitch.org, Facebook.gov. I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net. And right here, we got Mr. Coffee, got some Mrs. Glasses, and Dr. Headphones. No, we got Rob Sketchcraft, we got Allison McClone. I'm always going to say that about you. I'm sorry. And really Jesse, Mr. Thronkill.
I miss Glasses, just so you know. Not married. I have no children that I'm aware of.
Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a trick. It's the man trying to keep you in line. You won't revolt if you have a mortgage and children. Sorry. But I'm in a really rebellious mood today because most people who know me know that I'm primarily a documentary filmmaker. That's how people know me. That's what they know of me and what they expect from me. Yeah. And so, I got a little clip today, just a little snippet of a Star Wars documentary that's coming out, and it's going to be pretty good, I think.
Dear sirs, I hereby tender my resignation as director of your company with effect from today's date and confirm that I have no claims of whatsoever nature against the company.
Yeah, so there we go. There we go. Gary Kurtz resigned.
We really should have saved that for December 11th, Jason.
I know. That
would have been the day.
It really occurred to me at that point that I was like, maybe I should just go look at what the date is and then be like, I'll make that one for tomorrow.
If you ever wondered when Rob might wear a Lincoln stash on the show, tune back in for December 11th.
December 11th.
More to be announced soon. Also, a little known fact, Allison's going to start a new podcast comedy called Podcast Academy. She's going to be McCloney. And Jesse's gonna do all the noises. Yeah.
That's a thing apparently.
Yeah. Jason's gonna be Zed. It'll just be Jason, and then I get to be Sweet Chuck.
Can I be the accidental Bobcat? Nobody can understand what the fuck I'm trying to say half the time.
My favorite line in the Police Academy films is in Police Academy 2 when Mahoney's going undercover and he says he's captured and Zed, Bobcat's character goes, "What's your name?" And Mahoney goes, "Jughead." And then Bobcat goes, "Oh, my mother's name was Jughead." So good. I know it's stupid, but it's my kind of stupid.
I haven't seen those movies in a very long time.
They're no Dune.
No, man. Not.
Rob is really pissed about this Dune stuff.
He's got sand in his pants.
It gets everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it gets everywhere.
It's rough.
They never did. My Police Academy goes to Burning Man. I feel like if we were to bring back, that would be the one to do. Yeah. Right?
Or they're the reason that Firefest didn't happen.
Well, I'm going to be honest though. Like right now in 2021, after the last 2 years of the world that we've lived in with the police, now's the fucking time to bring Police Academy back because there's so much comedy to be had there.
Here's the setup:
make people mad, and you can make valid points at the same time.
Here's the setup. All the cops left because they didn't want to get vaccinated. So we got to bring in new people. And you get all these pandies that are just out their fucking minds.
Is Mahoney dead in real life? In real life, did Mahoney die? I feel like
no. Steve Gutenberg's alive.
He's still around.
Yeah, Gutenberg's alive.
Okay, yeah. That is right there. Mahoney. I know where he was on January 6th. Let's
not forget the unofficial reunion for Police Academy, Short Circuit, wherein Steve Gutenberg goes against Captain Harris again. Yeah, and probably a more strong emotional arc, but it doesn't have hooks, right?
Yeah, well, you know how like in the UFO stuff, they always have like Elizondo, and he's always like, a lot's going on behind the scenes and all that shit. And you're like, yeah, I want to know where the UFOs are right now, man. And that's kind of how it's been this week for me. I went down to the Mandalorian set today and trying to, see what was going on. And there's just a bunch of trash, Star Wars trash, all the kind of trash I would love to take and put in my backyard. Can you imagine just like grilling around some moisture evaporators? That look pretty badass. But
some big
you could see this
tires
little
there.
Yeah, those are not. I have a feeling that those are for things that they pull and stuff, but I'm not sure. Might just be straight up work stuff. But all of these trucks are out here now, and like trailers and stuff like that, and these tents, as you can see over here, little space tents. Everybody's been there, I guess.
They're just getting ready for trunk or treat, bro.
Trunk or treat, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they're out there doing that jazz, and it looks like they're about to start filming more, but it was pretty quiet today, excuse me. And yeah, just the trees are set up the same. The maze is pretty much the same. Some of the blue screen stuff has been shifted around. Here you can see a little corner of the wall right here, and nothing super exciting. Not trying to sell it as that. Not trying to make something exciting, but all of these lights have been set up too. And I think this is for daytime filming and for shade and to get around shadows that are cast and stuff like that. But I could be wrong. I don't know. And I don't know if this is indicative of nighttime filming and that's why it's so quiet during the day. You know what I mean? I kind of doubt it. I don't know if they film on blue screen at night. I don't know if that's a thing that they do.
Typically, I thought it was green screen at night, blue for the day, depending on environment.
It's like their own little volume right there.
Yeah, from what I understand on the Mandalorian specifically is that you use green if a lot of flesh is going to be involved, like faces and stuff. And because so much of the Mandalorian doesn't use faces, they defer to the blue screen. On this set. I've never actually seen a green screen on set here at this location.
Well,
so
when they had Baby Yoda, they definitely wouldn't have been using a green screen because he'd just vanish into it. So
yeah, just go away.
Everything.
Yeah, when they filmed some of they did do some Ahsoka work out there. They apparently did it on both locations on a stage and out here. When they did the stuff out here too, I think they just filmed at night, and I don't think they actually used screens, I don't think they needed to for the shots that they were doing. But it was only a few.
Laser blasts and lightsaber stuff into it that's easy nowadays. You don't need a green screen for that stuff.
Yeah, and that was the stuff that they did out there was like when Ahsoka's sitting down with Grogu.
Yeah, you definitely don't need it then. You can just do practical effects and mild things.
Right.
I gotta take off, guys. I got something to do apparently.
All right, dude. Hey, if things change, come back on. If not, we will see you Monday if you're around.
All right. Okay.
Later, dude.
Bye.
Bye.
Come here, be the pain.
So, God, dude, Rob, you really pissed off Jesse with that Dune talk, dude.
Picking them off one at a time, guys. All right, got two more. Then it's just gonna. Then the show is mine.
then it's all yours.
And then it's gonna be 2 hours of Police Academy. Keep talking.
Nolan says, "Happy Friday, nerds! Watched Rogue One while working from home today after seeing the Saga rumors from yesterday." Yeah, right. That is exciting stuff. Luke says, "At this point, I'm starting to think you purposely schedule these shows for when I'm in the hot tub." Dude, this show is pretty erotic, and it's pretty much like all about bath bombs and slow jazz music while you are in the tub.
I like the bath bombs that look like pastry. You know, you feel like you're getting a little extra something, and you get to choose which one you want to go in there, and then I get to be I get to be like the lemon cream. You know?
I may or may not have had some fun with a practical joke dealing with something like that.
Oh, let me get rid of this thing so that way we're not blocking Allison entirely. Sorry about that. Perdidos and Hot says, "Hey guys, do you have some news today?" Unfortunately, it's kind of a slow Star Wars news day.
Yeah.
You
Here's
know?
the thing: when you start the show off with Kurtz, it's fucking over. Like you can wait till Monday.
In the news today, we have Hobbs making his debut. So,
Chandler says, "Hey guys, I'm dressed as a Corellian Mandalorian at the office today, courtesy of my Black Series Mandalorian helmet." Oh, is it like your guys's? Yeah, sorry. Here, let me see. Let me see if this works for us. Does this work for us?
I didn't really care. I was just having fun with it.
I know. No, it's like one of those things where it's like kind of funny, but it does feel like it could be a little bit rude. But you're like, well,
It's an internet podcast video.
dude, this is a serious show, dude. We got people in the bath right now that are just super, like just caressing their body, going like, "Give me the Saw Gerrera news."
One of these days, I'm gonna keep a bucket with a sponge right underneath the table here, and I'm just gonna be like, huh?
Just
What?
splish splash. I was taking a bath.
No, we need the most important question: what scented candles and what kind of wine are you drinking while you're in the tub?
Yeah, I hope it's one of those. Did you ever see that story about that Gwyneth Paltrow vaginal scented candle that burst into flames and burned that lady's house down? It's the best story of all time. I love it. And so if you are using that
doing
candle,
later,
careful.
The fact that that's the story people forgot about shows you what kind of year 2020 was. You know?
Oh, don't worry. I'll never forget it.
are you jealous that I put you on camera?
Hey, we don't have any news, but we do have warm, really weird internet hugs for you. All right.
Not for me.
I'd like to attack my hair.
Oh,
I
look.
don't care.
Is that what is your cat's name?
The one that was just attacking my hair and sticking his claws into my back, that was Rocket.
Rocket. I had a cat named Rocket too.
And the other one is named Hobbs.
Rocket and Hobbs. I had two cats, Rocket and Indy. They were both insane. And then I got a puppy, and I loved my puppy, and I loved my cats. And I was with this girl, and I was like, you know what? It's over, baby. And she was like, you know what? I'm keeping the dog. And I'm like, fuck no, you're not keeping that dog. So you know what I did? I was super cool, and I went and I bought her the same dog. And I was like, I'm gonna train the dog. I trained the dog, but this dog was wily. And we had one of those doors that's like the handle is like a fancy thing for no reason, like a very Gary Kurtz Civil War looking handle like this. And after I moved out, I moved into my new place, and I took the dog with me. Her dog's there, and she doesn't lock the door, and the dog pushes his little paw on that flat handle and opens the door. And then my cat Rocket and my cat Indy, they both got out. Somebody took them. They were both weird. They were Scottish folds, and they never got big. They were like mini cats, so people thought they were like kittens, I think, and they like kept them. Either that, a vulture stole them. But I like to think somebody just
vultures are scavengers, so unlikely unless they met Mr. Carr. A hawk, on the other hand.
Sometimes I would see like vultures with little mice on their backs, and they'd have like arrow spears and slingshots. Okay,
I thought she was talking about Mr. Farr, the antagonist to Clowny Clown, the Crispin Glover #1 hit single. I suggest you go watch the music video today.
The official maestro of MakingStarWars.net, Crispin Glover.
Would it be great if we can get him to do a live rendition of that song? Like,
oh, and before I forget, Chandler, send us a picture of that if you have time one of these days.
Yes, definitely need proof of that one. That's important.
I want to see it. Hey guys, Disney already signed the extension with Lucasfilm. I get crazy about this. Laugh out loud. Do you mean with Kathleen Kennedy? Maybe. Because they own that shit. That they didn't go to Rent-A-Center on that one. They bought it outright.
It was like what, $6 billion or something, or $4 billion?
I think it was 4.5, and then the stock. Yeah, Lucas got most of it or half of it in stock. He gave most of it away. The part, yeah, it's open his museum.
Marsha got 10%.
Yeah, I guess when he what he got in stock though went up quite a bit because of the deal itself. So a lot of the times when you'll hear like Samuel L. Jackson going like, Lucas got ripped, man. He got ripped. And it's like, yeah, kinda.
No.
But
these numbers are so big, people can't fathom what they actually mean. You know?
Yeah.
They really can't.
But they were bigger. They were bigger for Lucas in the end because the stock rose with the sell price.
Yeah.
So,
also,
he's like, next I buy the Beatles.
He was rich to begin with, so
yeah.
Stupid rich to begin with. Now he's just like elderly crazy rich, like to ludicrous levels.
Well, and then he married what's her name, Melody Hobson, I think is her name, and she sounded rich too. She was like a Starbucks CEO or something like that. So yeah, I think Lucas could become a John Lennon 1970s era house husband and still be taking care of things to that.
Took all his money and opened up some Mongolian barbecue joints though. Like, you know.
No Mongolian
didn't
barbecue.
Tell anybody.
Thanks.
Yeah, it does sound pretty good. George Lucas always has the his finger on the pulse of what I like. Disney pays Lucas rent for Skywalker Ranch too. Really? So Disney doesn't own the ranch?
I thought he lived at the ranch.
Yeah. I know the Presidio they have to rent from San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And I always keep waiting for the day when San Francisco is like, you got to go, because they obviously get money from it and stuff like that, but they tend to shake them. They try to shake Lucas down. Lucas was trying to build that digital studio out there that would have essentially been the Volume, probably something just like it, and they kept trying to play the games with them, and he instead said, all right, fuck you guys, and he gave the land to low-income housing developers, so that way it's like, yeah, okay, fine, which in the end is actually for the best. So
I love what Lucas did with that, because he's like, well, I'm gonna give you a whole special fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll benefit people this way.
if he's licensed renting the Skywalker Ranch land at Disney, at some point, who's the villain at Disney who decides to go, we're not spending the money, move it? Because at some point, some dumbass will come in there and go, that's where we need to save a few bucks, and take that PR hit. Disney's shutting down Skywalker Ranch, like it will eventually happen if that's the case. They always do.
Yeah. Corporations suck.
Right. I mean, I always hear rumors ever since 2015 that they were going to be moving Lucasfilm primarily down to Los Angeles. That rumor is always around.
John Dykstra's out there fucking, we're gonna get back. We're gonna get it back.
Yeah. I don't know where all the dispensaries are out there. I don't want to move. Don't worry. They're everywhere, every corner. If you see a security guard, chances are he's just guarding a dispensary. If you're in Los Angeles, by the way.
Cash for green.
And he's probably a bit baked as well, so it's all good.
Probably. But I do expect at one point that rumor will become kind of true. You would think, because on one end, like one of the reasons I didn't stay in San Francisco is LA is expensive, but San Francisco is ridiculous. So I don't know what everybody's vibe is down there who doesn't own, who hasn't been at Lucasfilm for 25 years and owns a lot of shit before it was super expensive, especially. But I have to imagine if you were like most people are having to commute into San Francisco out of there, unless they make a lot of money. And so I kind of could see that happening at some point. I think Star Wars
Filoni hooked up some drones to his couch and just flies himself in. Some dumbass is gonna do it. You know that. I have been waiting for the guy to attach drones to his lazy boy and fly himself to work.
You could just all of the drones that I attempt to fly over there on the Mando set. He's just going to start capturing them, and I've never.
I'm up there with a slingshot. Boo.
Yeah.
Boo. Boo.
I just bat him down like a little kitty cat.
I get a little toy rag, you know. Ole. No, Filoni, don't. It's not.
They actually have like a marksman, and he just gets little pebbles and tries to throw it, and then they shoot it, and he thinks he's doing it because if he knows that he can't do it, he goes insane. Starts ripping down blue screen and shit.
Then we got another Kurtz situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It is kind of funny how when you just look at the whole producing situation, though, and you look at like Gary Kurtz is like a total fucking character, and it's pretty hilarious. Like pretty much everything I ever read about Gary Kurtz does crack me up, like as a producer, because he's one of those people that like would never have been a producer if he just wasn't that dude in the 60s and the 70s who ended up like walking onto campus and going, "Oh fuck yeah, I don't do this. This sounds cool."
Same
like,
with John Peters.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like that couldn't happen today. The whole I'm a hairdresser and somehow now I own like 10% of Superman and Batman, and no matter what fucking happens, I make money. Like just weird.
Yeah, that's beyond weird.
It's very somewhat similar to Martin Short's character in Only Murders in the Building, where he's just like kind of crazy producer dude, you know. Yeah. And I'm like, he's not quite John Peters-y, but very much in the same ilk, you know. And they just blow money on God knows whatever with no thought to longevity of project, you know.
Well, because it's like I on one hand, I mean, when you have like a certain alchemy of people, like I don't like dispute the fact that you have a combination of characters at play and then results happen. You know, like there's bands like that where so-and-so's not even a good bass player, but they were really good when he was in the band. You know, that kind of thing. Like Hoobastank. I'll see more like Weezer with Matt Sharp.
Okay, I mean, if you say so.
But I mean, but Hoobastank, I mean, you know, they had some good songs that were probably played at practice and never released. I'm just guessing.
Patrick Willem says Hoobastank is the police academy of musicians. So.
Oh no, Police Academy made actual money though. I think Hoobastank.
Didn't they have like one album?
They
did a Michael Jackson cover, so I think most of their music went to most of their royalties probably went to Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
Hoobastank.
Yeah, I think they call that the Shimon clause. You know, if you do a Michael Jackson song, listen to Vince Neil sing. Oh no, it's not.
See what I've done?
Luke says 6 times Mark Hamill warned us about Star Wars real estate issues. Mike Zero. Is that a real quote? Because if that's a real quote,
that would be hilarious. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either, but I hope it is.
The one above it's funny too.
How long until we get an alt-right Star Wars punk band called the Dead Kathleen Kennedys? No, okay. It was an idea.
I know who just ran to GoDaddy.com right now. Could take a guess.
Yeah.
But if you say his name 3 times, you get stuck in Dune hell. So.
All I'm saying is The Last Jedi was our Chappaquiddick. Just saying. No? I crack myself up. I make myself laugh.
There's some weird analogous term to the Dead Kennedys and Ted Kennedys, right? Like Ted Kennedy, right? Like, and they all, and they're all dressed up. I don't know. There's something there, but I don't want to go there. I'll get in trouble.
You could probably make some type of a, bridge joke or something with it, but hey,
Luke says, not real, but fully believable. Yeah, I mean, I could totally see him going like, Mark Hamill is warning us with his tweets subtly about real estate issues in Kathleen Kennedy. Who will win and who will lose as Rick McCollum fights for survival. But
I can just see it now. Kathleen Kennedy, slumlord for Star Wars. Like
Yeah.
man, what have we done?
yeah. No, I think we just came up with
Like, you guys here just saying.
what we're coming up with license to print YouTube Star Wars money. I mean, that's how you get
For
the
other
kids.
people. Like
No, for us, we're gonna
No.
do it. We're gonna be like Kathleen Kennedy, slumlord Kathleen Kennedy, out in Marion County with her coastal elites. Yeah, and that kind of jazz. I think we can do it. We gotta practice though.
I love when the coastal elites move to Florida where they have two coasts.
Still coast.
Same
Still
time.
coast.
Simultaneously. You know, like
And the last Jedi was still our Chappaquiddick. I stand by that.
I don't think any other state has two coasts simultaneously.
Rhode Island?
Just saying. It's a weird observation.
Rhode Island?
Rhode Island.
That's not real. That's two, but no. Okay, whatever. You got me.
You can't be a road in an island.
And nothing conservatively bad ever happens in Rhode Island. Baseball guy.
Yeah,
Luke
baseball guy,
Winchester.
yeah, the baseball guy was definitely a fun one because I had to live through that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I lived in Rhode Island when all that crap happened. I literally worked right next to his studio when I worked for Verizon.
Mm-hmm.
We were on strike. We had like a rally in front of it because the building I worked out of was like basically the headquarters of Verizon in Rhode Island. And I was doing all the audiovisual work with my friend Marie, recording everything, setting things up to get stuff going. And then one of the employees came by and asked the police who were nearby, which we're all friends with the police in Providence. I mean, there's like whatever. It came over. It's like, they're really loud. Can you tell them to, quiet down? And I have this on film too. And the cop was like, why don't you just go over there and tell it to that guy up on the stage? He goes, we'll get you out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry. Oh,
What did he just say to me? Wait, no, I lost. Dude, see this thing? It goes crazy.
Huh?
I just picked a comment and then it's gone now. Maybe he deleted it. Does that happen if they delete? I don't know. Anyways, I was trying to pull up a comment about the color purple and Kathleen Kennedy, but it didn't work now. I don't know. I don't know what it said. I couldn't read it.
Well, it left.
Yeah.
But anyway, that whole thing with racist baseball guy and his bloody sock.
The old bloody sock trick. Yeah, I actually don't know anything about the bloody sock trick.
It was when he was pitching, I think it was against the Yankees in one of the games that got the Red Sox into the World Series where they broke the curse. His leg was like all stitched up and the stitches came out as he was pitching, and you could see his sock was turning like blood red, so he was truly having like a red sock. Then it became like the bloody sock thing.
Okay.
He was like everybody's hero. Then he opened up a video game studio and didn't know what he was doing and crashed Rhode Island's economy for a good couple of. Well, I think it's still messed up.
Wait, I'm going to say if a video game studio can crash the economy of Rhode Island, I think Rhode Island might have had some bigger problems than him. Uh-oh. Rob, what does that drink mean? Does that drink just mean you're thirsty? Or does it mean you're about to?
I got nothing to add to that nonsense. I got friends who lost money. They worked at the game studio. So
Yeah, I know a lot of good people that worked there that basically all ended up, paying for double mortgages because
fun story about that though was I did ask some people that worked there what it was like, and I'm like, hey, did you ever hear? Because it was a joint venture between Kurt Schilling, R.A. Salvatore, and Todd McFarlane, and I was like, what was the Todd McFarlane component like? And they were like, well, he'd call in and you'd be looking at some art and he would just warn us about the penises. Like, that guy looks like a dick, or he has a big dick, or that was it. That was all he ever had to say. So
he was mad if somebody looked like a dick or if they had a big dick.
Well, I told them, I said, I think this comes from Todd selling at Walmart, and every time we would do a shirt with Spider-Man or some character on it, Walmart would always question the size of their package. Like, they didn't want kids to get hit in the chest or something when they go to school. I don't know, but I told him, I'm like, that might be from working at Walmart, which just brings up a whole nother slew of licensing problems. But yeah, that was pretty much his contribution. That was Kurt Schilling was a dude who thought he could make an MMO with like $30 million or something. It requires like 500 million minimum, but whatever.
And Salvatore's kid was working there too.
Everyone was. So fun times.
Fun times.
Stay away from states that have 2 coasts. That's my advice.
I think it was 3 because it's a peninsula.
Fucking nerds. Always got something to fucking say, don't they?
Well, technically,
Florida
is a
has
sand
3
planet.
too.
It's full of sedimentary rock. Some shit like that. Anyways,
Well, if you really want me to nerd out, I'll start talking about black holes and things. So.
another failed
weird
movie
business
that
phrase.
we're probably gonna have to sit through again. When Dennis Villeneuve gets done with Dune, it'll be the fucking black hole.
yeah, with that little robot, that guy's adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that had like nothing to do with the reality of a black hole, so it's all good.
Oh, and it's a void of it sucks in creativity. It's a never ending.
That's true. I mean, Interstellar was very scientifically accurate until he actually survived going in and didn't turn into a spaghetti strand. But hey,
Well, go do it and prove it. You don't really know.
Great.
Let me know.
Right to fly near a black hole and
Yeah,
killed by the X-rays.
yes, science. Yes, that's what science should do that. So.
I want Rob. I want like a weird communist revolution to take place, and everybody gets assigned these weird jobs, and then Rob's is like being like Mr. Wizard on PBS, and like little kids show up and they're just like, "Hey, what would happen, Mr. Rob Wizard, if we went into the interstellar?" And he's like, "Hey, how about you go in there and you try it and you find out and you come back and tells me, all right?"
I'm much more of a Beekman World guy, and I think that flies on Beekman's World.
So
Plus, we already had that. We're gonna need a new Timmy.
when they were making the Last Jedi, we got wind of the weirdness of Adam Driver filming sequences that he wasn't in. Didn't know what to make of it, and at the time, everyone was so insane. I just said, "Fuck it! I'm not going to report on that stuff. I'm just not even going to deal with it because it's going to be too hard to get 100% right." And people can't deal with it. By the Rise of Skywalker, I didn't give 2 fucks about anything anymore. And I was like, hey, I'm just going to say exactly what I'm hearing. And it's confusing. And these paintings right here, like this one right here of Rey and Kylo, that was one of the ones that was really weird. But there were more of these that were showing them around things like the Lars homestead and stuff like that. And when you see all of these pieces together, you start to think, oh, wow, they're going to fight across all of the landscapes of the Star Wars universe. And that's what I thought was going to happen in episode 9 at one point because of concept art and what they were filming. Yeah. Instead,
silly Jason.
Instead, what we got was just a
nifty book.
A little book.
Get a really cool book out of it with nice paintings.
Yeah, really nifty book. But
yeah, so this is I went and bought this book and then just got the digital version so I could share it, so they can shut up.
Yeah,
but
I got the digital
this is
version of it.
Yeah, this is from the art of Rise of Skywalker. Right,
So,
here you go, Jason.
Yeah.
Talk about this one?
Yeah, no. So I knew people who had seen all of everything from the film, and this right here was the original opening of the movie. Is we were going to go down from the opening crawl, and you were going to think that you were seeing Rey training with somebody else. That's what my sources thought they were supposed to believe. And yeah, it goes on, and the training continues, and then they reveal the mask, and it's Luke and Leia during Return of the Jedi. and we learn that she's afraid of what's going to happen to her son if that she is now pregnant with, if she continues along that path, because she's had a premonition that it's going to go bad. And instead they only used a little bit of it, and I think that's ultimately because it didn't look super fantastic. That's just my take. But
little hot take notice. This kind of reminds me. These two shots remind me of Flight of the Navigator, right? Like when he's in the forest.
Yeah, they kind of do actually.
Yeah.
It reminds me of E.T.
Yeah. Well, hey,
do that too.
Hey, Flight of the Navigator came second. So.
Yeah,
that's right. It did. Definitely did.
And whatever came last is what we reference.
That's it.
So Rise of the Skywalker. Got it.
That's the key to Star Wars. Right.
Okay, the scene with the Falcon, that would have been kind of cool if that made it in.
Yeah, was that supposed to just like reference that light speed trick? Is that what this is depicting? I wonder.
I'm guessing.
Or was it just a
light
weird
speed trick was dumb, but
yeah. Yeah, there were so many convenient things in that movie, between the use of the like connection of the dyad was a convenient way to get the characters together when they really shouldn't be together, to get out of scenes that really shouldn't exist. And so that patched all that up, and that was another one of those things where, we're just in the ninth film going to come up with a new trick that you can do to make this work, and it didn't even need to exist. It's very strange.
It was an interesting concept that I don't think was executed very well.
Would have been interesting with a little bit of preparation and planning, had that been the trick they used in Solo to win the parsec race, whatever the fucking
the Kessel Run.
Yeah, the Kessel Run, yeah. And you know what I mean? It was like a thing, and then they do it again in the ninth film or something. Would have been fun to work that in somehow.
That would have been cooler.
So,
I kind of wish they didn't. Do that for the Solo story.
Yeah,
sandworm.
Well, sandworms. It must be doomed.
Yeah, that was one of the earlier scoops I had from the film, and it was a hard one to figure out, strangely, because it's like, is it a giant worm? Is it a snake man kind of thing, like this snake, and the snake is fighting Rey and all that stuff, and you're just like, what is
Snake Man's from Dreamscape, right? With Dennis Quaid, right? Snake Man.
Yeah, Snake Man
comes and gets you.
Then we could have was a man. I believe that was a quote. The important.
Or it's a baby Rancor before he gets arms and feet. It's just head and butt now.
It's like a fetus Rancor. So, or like it's kind of like the alien thing. Had chest bursted out or something.
And right here, we have all of these concept paintings that are designed around Adam Driver's "I ran out of toilet paper" walk, where he has to get up to get more toilet paper to finish the wipe.
He's one moment away from doing a racist Native American dance right here.
In front of the whole class.
Like, time out, Driver. Like,
don't do it, Driver.
Don't do it.
Well, it reminds me of the scene that they cut out of The Force Awakens, but was in the trailer. And this is like, that was like the coolest scene, showing him turning on the lightsaber when he was like, with the snow around him and everything. It's like, that was badass. And then they didn't do it.
Yep. That one they used a different angle on it. I always wondered if they just decided it wasn't right for the edit, or if they were like, people have watched it 200 million times on YouTube, let's use a different angle so it feels fresher in the movie. I was wondering like what the logic in that one was.
Somebody had a bout of the stupid.
Yeah, it would be like pulling that moment in The Phantom Menace when Maul ignites his double-bladed lightsaber that was badass in the trailer, and then not using it in the movie now.
Yeah, or like showing it from behind or something.
Talking.
Yeah.
Talking.
be like if he talked, and then they never put it in the film.
I actually had the a photograph of this tree on fire. It was super confusing because
I thought that was the Death Star crashing into the planet for a second.
I don't want to mention your scientific knowledge of black holes here, but there's clearly a person in frame. It's a little bit the size of the Death Star.
That could be a Voltron. That could be a Voltron.
It's a Mecha Man.
Just saying.
Giant mecha
You know?
man.
I'm no astro super scientist or whatever that is. Like, you know,
It's Star Wars. I
But
gave up on science after
I
the
do know
giant
people
ship flew by.
are that big, and Death Stars are not.
That could be a Chewbacca mech.
It's a Chewbacca mech. Yeah, it's a Chewbacca Gundam Jedi mech.
Yeah, Warwick Davis inside a Chewbacca mech.
Yes. That's definitely
It's the
what I would
rebel
like
insignia
for.
on fire. It's what it symbolizes.
What?
I know. So, you ready for this one, folks?
What? Luke gets new clothes. Why would he get new clothes? Did he go?
Hamill's like,
shopping?
I'd have to go on keto for that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
he would have. Yeah, he definitely has a real big dude vibe in the other one. Oh yeah, what do you guys how do you guys interpret that mirror scene? What do you think that how did you guys interpret that in Last Jedi? Do you guys have an interpretation?
I have this weird idea for an effect, and we're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just that she sees herself, and she has to face the fact that she is just who she is, and she's no one special.
Yeah. Yeah, my take was that she is just one in a long line of this role. And that makes you somebody and also makes you nobody, because when you look at a long line of those things, you really aren't that special. You're just one in a series, but at the same time, you're important. You know,
Or she's a clone, and then eventually there'd be a bunch of them, and then Rey as everybody would have been the third film.
Rey is everybody.
And Rey turns into Agent Smith, and she's infecting everyone. And
Sure. Why not?
I actually had a thing of Ryan Johnson giving his interpretation of it, but I don't have it on me. But I'll save that for next time.
I also like when I like the cosplayers who cosplay as Rey, and they do that, and then they do the snap.
Yeah,
I think that's
that's pretty fun. All right, what is this? Is this Leia flying around?
Bridge damage version 18 is all it says.
So is
It
that
doesn't give any context
Yeah.
for what this specifically is. I mean, that looks like Leia, kind of, but
So
it's a
is it
Rise of
Leia?
Skywalker thing, so I don't know.
is it Leia
Cable.
doing Mary Poppins?
Cave wall painting. This would, I
Ooh.
guess, would have been her seeing the reflections of it was her and Obi-Wan with the
Yeah.
big Cyclops eye! Cyclops eye!
Cyclops Kenobi.
Wayne's World! Wayne's World! Sorry.
Ah!
But, right.
Yeah. I'm into
And
it.
somebody spiked their audio. Got it. All right.
Oh no! Oh no! This is the extended edition where we find out he's naked when
Wait,
Luke
I
comes in that
can't
room.
see. What is that? What is that?
That's naked Kylo bed. This is Kylo's bed
Oh.
chamber.
I'm okay
I don't
with
know
it.
why this is in the Rise of Skywalker book, dude, but it is.
I'm perfectly okay with that scene having in there.
and below it we have Mark Hamill scratching his back with the lights.
Here's Ryan Johnson. Now this can be incriminating. I think Luke understands it's not about what he wants. Oh.
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 And then your favorite, these aren't characters that go and get married. They don't get over the scar. Frodo from Lord of the Rings carries the ring to Mount Doom for the rest of his life and is plagued with fear.
Yeah.
Frodo has no peace until he is at war. Luke is that character. So that's Filoni. Oh shit, look at that. Look at what Filoni says.
Also
Yeah, Luke-
incorrect. He goes into the west to be with the elves. That's like relief from the
Until
ring.
he leaves that world, Luke is that character. So until he leaves the world, he won't be at peace. I guess this would have been further elaborations on that scene. I don't know.
Listen, I don't want to hear any more about the poor mental health care of Middle Earth and how that affects Star Wars, because it doesn't, okay? That's Peter Jackson's fucking problem.
They're very socialist except when it comes to healthcare, and then Gondor fucking takes a large chunk of fucking premium rates and shit, you know.
I mean, I saw Gandalf having to self-medicate with weed at the beginning of the first one, so...
Oh yeah.
Well, it smelled like feet in that village. What they don't tell you, he has to get rid of that smell.
Here we go, little motherfuckers.
It's a lot of feet. That looks like the Emperor's throne. All right,
Yeah,
Snoke Death version 3. Oh, this is another
That's no
revisiting.
Yeah.
That is the throne that we see Snoke use, Palpatine use. It's also, I think it might be in Star Wars Rebels. and it was a Ralph McQuarrie concept throne for the Emperor in Return of the Jedi, and now it's used everywhere because Ralph McQuarrie did it.
They don't give a lot of context of why there's all this art redepicting scenes from The Last Jedi.
That's what drives me crazy though about a lot of
book.
this stuff is they'll do like a lot of blue sky stuff. Like I had a guy who wrote for me. He was younger, and he wrote an article about how excited he was that they showed Anakin in a piece of blue sky artwork. And the asshole at Lucasfilm didn't read that it was the byline, that it wasn't me writing it, and just started talking all this shit about how I didn't know what blue sky was. But motherfuckers, you didn't define it. So you had a young person who went and bought your book, didn't define what blue sky was. You confused them and then acted all high and mighty because of your insider knowledge.
I also wonder, just taking a cursory glance, there's not a lot from the Duel of the Fates, and I wonder, to fill up the book, they wouldn't put in stuff from The Last Jedi that wasn't in the other book in here.
Yeah, probably.
I wonder. Yeah.
Because
they didn't want to go, here's all this other shit you would have got, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, because people just go, oh, it's what we should have had. And then instead a lot of it leaks online, and then we're still in the same place. So
and then we do 9 episodes about it, and I hate life. Like,
yeah. You loved every minute of it. You got to perform. You never felt so alive. I saw it in your eyes.
I may or may not have missed most of those episodes for reasons I can't divulge.
It was my moving violations moment. You know? Yeah, so this is all from Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
All right. Okay. All right.
More Last Jedi.
I know. Okay, let's go. I guess here. All right. Again, you know, like she's gonna have to lose a little. She actually slimmed down pretty good. I think out of all. I mean, Harrison's always in great shape, but yeah, she looked pretty good by the.
But yeah, Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher were just kind of normal people, and they were like, "Hey, I'm fucking 60. What do you want?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know. But we want Japanese 60. So start walking, motherfucker.
Yeah.
These are interesting costume designs, I thought.
I like that last one of Rey on the right. Yeah, I like that look.
Yeah, that one develops more of her Last Jedi look, I think, into extrapolates upon that. It's kind of like what we had of her from The Last Jedi, you know.
I like The Last Jedi look a lot.
Yeah,
I was kind of annoyed they went back to like the look of her in Force Awakens.
Yeah, I like all of the costumes. Like I don't think there's anything to like truly knock about it, other than the direction of the choice to do one thing over another. Yeah, and yeah, going back to her costume in 9, it feels like a redo of the first one with the Princess Leia hood, and it doesn't really feel like there's a costume progression for that reason to me.
Also, she has the dark side kind of takes her a bit in it, so her with the white doesn't really make sense with the conflict of emotions she had. She should have been wearing darker clothing the way Luke was really on the edge in Return, but
I have a feeling it was because of Dark Rey. That's my guess. Is it was reactionary. If we were going to show Dark Rey, you can't have kind of Dark Rey and Darker Rey. So they were like, let's juxtapose those two. Does that make sense?
No, yeah. I mean, there's shooting reasons why you do that, artistic reasons, but they could have done it with the Dark Rey, and they just could have given her different colors.
Yeah.
So the palette was just too stark. I mean, I get it. Star Wars, it generally has a fairly stark palette with, one color dominating on different characters, but you can add a little more.
So the right-wing take I complain about Star Wars is that Kathleen Kennedy's the villain and Filoni should be in charge of everything. Am I right? Like, that's kind of like the general stance on that.
That's basically what it is anyway.
Because I just want to read something that Dave Filoni says right here, which should fucking... Filoni says...
Hold on. Before you read it. This is Dave Filoni, who directed the Clone and helped create and write The Mandalorian. Also, Lucasfilm Civil War General against Kathleen Kennedy's battalion. Go on.
Yeah, I'm Kurtz 2.0.
He's also integral behind Rebels too, wasn't he?
And wears a stupid hat a lot.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. He says, we should shift it so Leia is the Obi-Wan of this entire trilogy. I don't even think that it hurts that she's not primarily the mentor figure in 7, because, like John had been saying, the audience expectation is so on Luke. And when that proves not to be true, it's way more powerful. It's dangerous because it makes it so about the women of Star Wars. Something to me says that's right. This is the one that's great. There's something happening.
Oh, what a fucking soy boy!
You look at birth, regeneration, the world itself needing healing. All those things are emblematic of the mother character and myth. They're all matriarchal things. Mother Earth herself. Global warming is a hot topic. By the way, Shabbat hot topic. George was always so good at tapping into what's happening in the culture, and he hits us with it. The idea that we have Leia, a mother character who needs healing in her own right, that's something we can get into a deeper way.
This new Green Deal is getting worse all the time.
It's just funny. A couple of my observations, like one, when they go, he's the thing, and another thing's the problem. Like, it's not your trilogy, man. You should probably get really into like Starship Troopers, maybe, and not get the allegory.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe try adult coloring.
2, I have to wonder, how many times does Dave or does Filoni just attribute George to shit he would never do? But he's not there now to prove it otherwise. That's something George would do. Oh, fuck, I would. What are you talking about? Like, we totally Leia's Obi-Wan. What the fuck?
If you look to like Lucas's idea for his sequel trilogy, Leia was the more important character.
Well, when the Care Bears had kids, Allison, right? They were going to have kids, and they'd each have, there'd be like a little lion Jedi, and there'd be like a little skunk. They wouldn't just be bears. That's what I was going to do. Like, that's it's just going to be another setup for another 9 films, at the end of the day. That's it. That's all it's going to be,
Luke says, I wonder if that Filoni quote about the mother character healing could play into what we were discussing the other day about the potential in the Ahsoka show. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good point.
Also, observation, wasn't that initially the idea for that was what Kurtz had talked about. Hello?
Willow.
Well, I think I said hello. But I was going to say, that's what I was leading to, that Kurtz had talked about that for the original trilogy, and then it got put into Willow. But wouldn't it be funny if Filoni was doing that while they're making another Willow series? Like, yeah. Does the Willow series also do that? Or are they just going to leave that to Willow Part 2? Because we really don't know what Willow Part 2 is about, essentially, right? Like,
we know it's about a group of a set of twins. And one twin is kidnapped, the boy. And then the girl goes after the boy. Wants to save her brother, and then they have to get Willow to help, and Willow does help. I'm trying to get rid of this logo on the top.
So it's Obi-Wan. It's the trilogy with Obi-Wan in reverse for Willow's the Obi-Wan in that story, and Solana is the main character, and she has to save Filoni.
Yeah,
Solana and Solani. All right. Yeah, that's cool. I'm cool with it. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And then Finn's got a cool jacket, little baggy.
Ooh,
I like that backside design.
Yeah, I like it. It's like he's in Cobra Kai or something.
Yeah, that's I like that backside. I'd actually I think I would wear that. Like if I was gonna wear something Star Warsy and not want to look it, that would be kind of cool.
It does look kind of cool.
Yeah.
What are you fucking saying what are you talking about, Eric Denton? Willow Part 2 is 120 minutes of boring shit like Willow Part 1. Whatever, man. Get out of here. Get out of here.
That's my jam. That dude right there we could get along with. I love the movie, but I just like the boldness.
You don't know anything because
I could have fun discussions with them and they'd just be full of just laughing at each other. So
Willow the video game is actually pretty good. It is okay to like the Willow the video game.
It is good.
It actually is.
Yeah.
So, here we see Mr. Dune, right?
I like the one on the right, like Poe Dameron after work. He's like comes home and like drinks a beer and beats his kids.
Yeah, that's what the House of Atreides, right? That's what they do. After work, they come home, get real angry, and smack that little bitch up.
Get real angry. They just let it all out.
Yeah.
Wow, Filoni.
Yeah. That's some healing that needs a good smack in the face. Know what I'm saying?
So that's the starter car fighting outfits. Got it. Okay.
I'm reminded. Is it in my head, Jason? Am I making this up? But I remember something around the prequel. There was some Macquarie painting of like Jedi training stuff, where they were like doing. They had these like kind of like kendo outfits or something. Like there was in a room with a triangle. God, I remember there was some piece of
like that. Yeah.
art that was being floated around that was before the movie had come out that they were showing. I know he didn't do any work for it, obviously, but I'm just saying like there was something maybe from Jedi I'm reminded of.
Yeah, I remember something like that.
I'm kind of putting it together in my head, and I think what they used from that you're referencing becomes what they use in the Clone Wars for when we see the Grand Inquisitor, but he's actually the Jedi at that point, and they're part of that like group of guys who police the Jedi, like the internal Jedi police. They're like Jedi in mask and I think they use that like dojo-y kind of setting in the Clone Wars. If we're talking about the same thing.
Oh, the Temple Guards, yeah.
The Temple Guards, yes.
Yeah. They all have yellow double-bladed lightsabers.
Yeah. Yeah. And they become the Inquisitors.
Dennis Lawson was supposed to be in this movie. Look at that.
Look at that. Warwick Davis as Wedge.
Well, he has a kid in this one. It's called Smidge.
Smidge.
What?
Smidgen. Wow, that's very Biggs Darklighter meets Cassian meets dude in a club I saw one time.
It's all stuff that I expect to be more in a video game, really. I mean, I know they got to draw all of it, so I'm glad that they do, but at the same time, it's like, all right, like, I don't know. I feel like costume people kind of put that together better than artists sometimes, but
yeah.
Oh, here we go into this whole unfortunate.
Yeah, have you read if it ever acknowledges anything about Lando?
I didn't bother reading the book. I just got it. I was like, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
So Jana Disco Pants. Michael Kaplan originally made a series of mannequins for 8 people of that land. My original drawing is reflective of that. After more discussion with JJ, so no. And then Jana. Maybe there's a camera. I think these are different night goggles. Something quite Nope. No.
It's been suggested to me that Lando uses an arrow blow dart thingy, not a blow dart, but a arrow dart kind of thing and weapon in the Rise of Skywalker because they were going to connect his use of arrows to her and that kind of thing. And I'm like,
she could be a gambler. I don't know, like something way more cooler than the blow dart man. It's just a goofy. Like,
I don't know. I feel like it's a bit of a stretch, but
his best sad fleck impersonation. How do you feel about this whole?
When he stitched the mask back together.
Yeah, I actually didn't really. That's one of the things I think actually goes against the Last Jedi in a bigger way than people give credit for.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean? And it really, in my opinion, it shows to some degree either a misunderstanding of Kylo in the Last Jedi, or I just don't give a fuck kind of attitude about it. Because, yeah, he completely forgoes the mask, kills the master, becomes, you know what I mean, does everything that he set out to like do, and then he puts it back on, and they don't play into the shame. If they played into the shame of what he has done harder, and there was some angle for I have to hide behind the mask to continue to do what I want to do, would have made more sense. One of the things I had heard during the production was that there was more content about Kylo needing to kill Rey but not having the balls to do it. And
that would have been more interesting.
And that's what I heard why this helmet came back in.
So he could get the courage to kill her.
putting the character back on to do things that he can't do as himself, and to go to that next level to really be truly evil. And
See, that would have made more sense. Also, I think they should have taken the original design and not just like Frankensteined it back together. I mean, it looks kind of cool, but why not give him a slightly new mask?
yeah, they
Like, the aesthetic, and then like kind of build from there.
for Force Awakens, I saw one of his mask, and it was essentially the one. It was the same concept, the same design, but there were like different colors and different texture kind of tests that they were doing. And they did one where all of the chrome was gold, and it was like kind of like the Mando I talked about a few days ago, that black and gold look. And I thought that
And everyone's like 3PO.
yeah, but it would have
They
been
make fun of him. Hey, look, it's a golden god. He thinks he's a golden god.
after Snoke though, and he becomes the supreme leader. I think that would have been kind of a neat direction to have,
Or an inverse where it's red with the black scars.
Yeah,
You know,
that would
what I
have
mean?
been kind of interesting.
Like,
I can't remember what the word is. There's a Japanese word like for pottery that's like put back together, and that design.
oh, it's right here. It's
That's what they were
Japanese kintsugi. Kintsugi, the art of melting broken pottery with metallic lacquer seams.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, there we go.
Kintsugi.
Yeah.
Kintsugi. You don't know how to fucking say it, idiot. Like, all right, I barely know how to speak English. You know what I have learned? That
What's that?
pizza is pizza in most languages. So if you just say pizza, you'll never. Yeah, just learn that. You can always eat.
Is
Oh,
pizza
I think
like an actual real word, or did we just make that up like in like more modern times?
What does it matter?
Well, no, I'm curious.
I'm not gonna say go back in time and learn the word.
Well, no, I mean
don't know.
because if so, that might explain why it's the same in every.
It's probably the original word.
Luke says that Naomi Aki is my current Star Wars crush, so she's best be back in that Lando series. I have a feeling she will be. And then he goes on to say, regarding the helmet, I headcanoned that he put the mask back on as he couldn't live with himself and wore the mask to hide his emotions and maintain the facade. And that's what I think too, and that's what I think they thought too. But that's also what I think they failed to convey. At least,
Yeah, I don't think they conveyed that well enough. It just felt like I didn't like The Last Jedi. I'm putting the helmet back on him. Wah.
Yeah.
This is when the Fran Drescher was gonna be.
Oh shit.
Right. It's very Peggy Bundy.
Yeah.
Right,
I mean that's when she was the Star Wars flasher. She'd just be like, they're like, no, you can't do that in a kids movie.
Yes, my cloak is really the rug.
It's that rug from that place they go to in Solo: A Star Wars Story where they meet Lando.
Yeah,
no
it's like
offense, but a character with the helmet with this kind of flamboyant cape and a cool, like, posh little jackal dog to me sounds like Lando's daughter. Just
Yeah.
if you know, like someone who's like who knows how to wear style and kill you, right? But you don't know because she's got the mask on. Then you find out it's Lando's daughter.
Also, it's literally like something out of the late 60s, 70s shag rug. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it kind of would have been maybe a better idea to have consolidated those two characters and made her Lando's daughter, who was inscripted into being a stormtrooper and was then went rogue just like Finn, but didn't get picked up by the Resistance and becomes a bounty hunter who then bangs Poe Dameron and teaches him the art of love, because that's what Lando does. He
Isn't it
teaches you
more
how to
about
love.
the power of love.
The power of love.
You
the art
just
of
described
love.
the entire storyline for the new Batman film, by the way.
Yep,
Did I?
Just Catwoman and Bruce. So you'll see.
exactly. It's what it is.
Yeah.
That's a cool hat.
Whoa.
I like this.
Yeah.
It reminds me of those the Asian hats a little bit, like
Zuvio.
Koi, something. I think
Yeah. Yeah, I never knew what they were called. I looked it up one time, and I looked it up, and they were just like, "Those are called rice patty hats." I'm like, I think they have a real name, and I would like to know.
Okay, Randy Quaid. Like,
No, I'm not even kidding though. Like
no, the guy who said that. I know. That's what.
Yeah.
I know. It's just okay. I like these patterns are very Ian McKegg. If you go look at the concept art he did for like Padme.
Yeah.
In the first film, she had a lot of those those basic
BB-8
geometric
as a
triangles.
person.
Yeah,
This would be great to appear in a show, I think. Or
that'd be cool.
yeah, that'd be.
I mean, the artists are at such a level overall, like for the most part, that there's really like things that aren't used are totally valid, like to show up in Star Wars at any time. Like when you look at like a lot of the old concept art, a lot of the stuff you're like, no, that can't show up on screen. That's just like not good. But they got it down so well.
By the way, I'm just saying, if Lando wears a cape, one would think his daughter would wear a cape.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that.
You think Lando should have had a cane saber just to piss off the fans?
Yes.
And it's really long. You know?
I got this when I went out hunting for kyber crystals with Luke Skywalker, and he said I could have it.
Yep. Nope, I would have been fine with that. I mean, one of the things I liked about like the original version when it was the Star Wars is everybody had lightsabers.
Yeah, that's kind of more fun.
Well, that's what I had hoped the First Order would have been equipped with already. You know what I mean? Like you go into it and they all got those lights, like that concept art of, you know, the classic, you know, what's his face with the fucking saber fighting the Vader looking character.
They all had shields. All of the First Order guys have shields against lightsabers that pretty much don't do anything.
Because you're back in a fucking world in which you got to deal with Jedi because of Luke and shit. So you would think they would just be, you know, all trained for that. You know, like I don't know, man. I don't know what they just. I don't know.
Or
cool art though. It's cool art. Look, David Bowie.
Oh yeah, David Bowie. He made
it's called Starman. That's no shit.
Wait. Zoom in on his crotch. Zoom in on his crotch for me. No, that's not David Bowie. It's not David Bowie.
Bro, it's going down here on the side though.
Oh shit, that is David Bowie.
See the shadow? See the shadow?
Oh right.
Look, his saber's unusually long too. Yeah, this is Kathy Bates, young Kathy Bates.
Oh man, what is that on her head?
It's a hood. It just goes straight forward. Yeah.
It's a pool floaty.
It's a curved muffler.
It's the Temple of Doom raft. So when they jump out of a ship, they can expand, and
she just goes. Yeah. I saw this Ian McCaig painting the other day, and it was from I think it was Ian McCaig, and it was the what's that hole called in Revenge of the Sith, where they on Utapau, like the Utapau sinkhole. And it was
the one from Jedi that was from Phantom Menace, right? From Espa looking thing that was
from episode 3 from Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, right, but the concept art was originally the Mos Espa was originally sinkhole fucking city, and then they put it in Revenge of the Sith as the planet. Yeah.
It was the clone troopers on hang gliders, and they're having like a hang glider fight down, and it was so badass. And I hope they bring that back someday because it looked fucking.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
And you got Rey with the reverse grip.
Yeah, because as a kid, remember like when they would show they would show Ewoks and shit. They were always flying around on hang gliders, like doing cool shit, like in like outside stuff, but never like really in the show. And then we got like the Ewok Adventure, and he just like kind of flies around. It's like a slow ass hang glider.
Christian Bale ruined it for everybody.
I want a fast ass hang glider. Whoa.
Hey, in Battle
Triangle Head,
he like builds one in a cave before a bird tries to
Triforce.
The Triforce. Was it rice patty hat? Did you call it?
Yeah,
no,
that's what they were calling it. That actually looks pretty cool on the bottom.
That looks really neat.
Yeah, these look great. This is the Coppola Dracula armor, right?
Yeah, it is. Right. That's Gary Oldman as a
Sith trooper.
Yeah,
dude, Gary Oldman would have been a great like Imperial, First Order kind of dude, right? This is what I thought Kylo would have looked like in the third one.
Well, that's cool. Look. That's what Phasma was. Phasma was a Kylo costume where he was like king of the stormtroopers. You know what I mean? Like he leads all of those guys, and it looked, and he had one of the concepts I've shown that has him with like the Wampa Claw lightsaber and the Captain Phasma outfit. And this is like the same idea. And
it's the most Macquarius of the designs.
That one in the cape is so good that they should bring that back. They should make that. Yeah.
I so wish they did more with Phasma.
Yeah, me too. I didn't believe she was dead. Like in Last Jedi, I didn't feel like that was it. And then we got to 9 and she was dead. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I figured she was dead because they chopped Snoke in half. I'm like, yep, pretty much everybody's open in this one.
Yeah.
Granted, I love the fact they chopped Snoke in half. I had
Yeah.
a friend's like, they barely introduced the character. You knew nothing about him. Like, what was Palpatine's name? Where it was mentioned in the original
Matt
trilogy?
Smith. Oh, sorry.
Original trilogy. When was the Emperor actually named? Oh wait, he wasn't.
Oh, wait. You're talking about that one scene where they're like, what's your name? He's like, my name is Tony Palpatine.
Exactly. Yeah.
My name is Tony Palpatino. But when I came over here, I changed it
Call
to
me
Ellis
Shiv.
Island.
Shave.
That's what
Whatever.
That's what Schnepp used to do. Tony Ravioli. Not Tony Ravioli. Yeah, they were like, they'll stop with the and they'd do it for like 5 minutes. It was great.
God. But yeah,
These are odd helmet designs. This would be fine for like a High Republic era looking thing, right?
Yeah.
yeah, that would fit more
Like,
with the High Republic, I
yeah.
think, or like late Old Republic type stuff.
Whoa. Yeah.
that's
I mean, like,
late Old
I
Republic is the Phantom Menace, Allison. Like,
I don't
Knights of the Old Republic.
say it. Like literally, like late.
Mhm. Yeah,
Just saying.
go to hell.
Just putting it out there.
put it out there.
Look at these guys.
Oh shit.
Snow officers looking. They're like, we don't need fucking KKK hoods. We can fucking look
Cyclops
fashionably
eyes?
Moscow. Very Moscow-ish, right?
Yeah,
Right,
and
right,
they have
yeah.
Cyclops eyes. At least that center one does.
Oh yeah, temple
Like a
touchers.
visor-looking thing.
The kind of looks like a Moscow stormtrooper medic.
It's a shame we never go to a snow. I don't know what were they just doing for like a year. Anything goes. Right? Anything goes. Right? Like just
What do you mean?
trying to look for anything to see what fits for the story. I don't. You know what I mean? Like it's very like let's just draw whatever, and then hopefully this will inspire what the director wants to choose to do, kind of thing.
I would. Yeah, it could have went the other way too. It could have been like JJ wants to see red stormtrooper designs, and we're just seeing like where they
Right.
were going with that stuff.
That's what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
that's Babu Frick working on 3PO's head.
Right.
So we have Warwick Davis working on a giant 3PO. Got it.
He's got a Game Boy Advance Mini, right?
Yep.
I love that one, little square one. It's great.
Yeah.
Folded.
That shop. I was really excited. I saw a photo of that shop early on, and I saw the battle droid, and I was like, "Oh shit! They're putting stuff from battle droids in there." That made me happy when they did that. So what is this? This is Mos
Akbar Jr.
Akbar
and
Jr.
Mafkata.
Yeah. Akbar Jr.
Half-tap.
is Akbar Jr. is in the movie, by the way.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I picked up E.T. in The Phantom Menace, but didn't see Akbar Jr.
No, you were just like, that's just some fish boy. That's Akbar
Probably.
Jr. Akbar Jr. I think he's in the novel too.
That's kind of like Steve Buscemi.
A little bit of a Steve Buscemi, yeah. He's like, I don't tip. I want Akbar Jr. to give us the whole breakdown of what Like a Virgin is about.
Coruscant has pretty good burgers. This is Skull. I don't know, creatures like I don't know, crab dragon kind of thing. That's an interesting. It would have been a fight on a giant
That
skull
would have
head.
been cool.
That's fucking
I
metal
guess this
as
is
fuck.
Mortis, right? In a way, kind of like maybe they're not saying it. Like
I mean,
what was
it could be
were the
Mortis.
vampire planet? Right?
No, or I mean, or it could be Exegol, or it could be the sand planet where they have the festival.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's more likely.
Yeah.
Oh, little Ponda Boba, whatever.
Oh yeah, butt face.
I
Look at that
expect them to
band.
roll
They
out
should
and, like, have pincers so I can go in and like drink people's brains.
Yeah, I want that band to show up. Look at that thing.
No more 80s in a saxophone band, right?
Yeah.
In the heat of the night.
No, Baker Street. Definitely Baker Street.
And
And then that little guy in the middle right there just kind of plays like the little jam during the verse. And then this thing. Yeah, I want that.
this guy's the cowbell dude,
Yes,
right? You can
definitely
see right there.
cowbell.
Donk, 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 right there.
Yeah.
More cowbell.
I guess there's more of these designs.
Yeah,
Look at that blade.
yeah. God, yeah, that would have
Blood
definitely
Rain.
somebody would have got killed at a convention if they had went with that one.
Yep.
What are those little chainsaws?
Nerf.
Nerf
Oh,
gun.
yeah.
Nerf guns.
What?
It looks like there's a grenade launcher on the bottom or something.
Oh, I don't know if I ever talked about this or not because I wasn't allowed to for a time. But when they made the Phantom Menace guns,
Hold on.
I had a friend on set who.
See? Nerf.
Oh shit! Pretty much. Yeah.
I'm always prepared for an unnecessary Nerf attack, right? Like,
What a
you
Nerf
never
herder.
know. Yeah,
You're a Nerf herder.
upset.
No, on the Phantom Menace when they sorry, a Phantom Menace on the Force Awakens when they created the First Order guns, the actual displays on there, they actually like work and stuff. They actually like you could like reset it, and as you fire, it will change and it will count down like a number of like how much power or shots it has left in it and stuff like that.
Like an Alien 2?
Like yeah, it does. It has like all of that stuff, and they designed it to work for games like Battlefront because they knew that those games were coming. And yeah, it's fine that they don't waste time on it, on screen. But I don't think you really get any indication of that in the movie that it does anything, but it does.
Jet Trooper grenade launcher.
Oh yeah, I also had like a really funny day where I got FaceTimed from the Rogue One set. And they had like iPads for like they use like iPads for like a lot of the screens. They just like load videos onto the iPads and the videos just play over and over again.
This is weird. So, Codex 05. JJ wanted us to experiment with forms of storage for the kill switch data card. And he had the idea that over time, the data card might perish, and the only way of preserving it would be inside of an alien bug.
Okay.
Yeah, we could see why JJ didn't invent the Star Wars. But just
well, I mean, we do have Elizondo saying that DNA is the best way to store data for a very long time.
You think JJ opened up an old drawer, saw a roach, and there was like, oh wait.
Yeah. And then JJ went on to make a UFO disinfo documentary. So who knows?
These are cool. The Sith
I
scrolls.
still haven't watched that.
Don't
The
bother.
scrolls were another prop that cropped up before we fully knew their purpose in the script. We worked heavily with the graphics department to develop ideas for how the Sith legacy and records have been handed down from generation to generation.
I don't know.
You know what? You know what it's based off of? Oh God, what is that movie? Kratos. Wait, what's that movie called?
Da Vinci Code thing.
No, it's like Kratos Machine. Oh fuck, what's it called? It's a movie, and what is it?
Kronos.
Kronos? Is it Kronos? I think it's Kronos.
The Guillermo del Toro vampire movie with Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
Kronos.
It's just like that, where there's that machine, and it has like a biological scorpion bug on the inside of it. That's like part.
Oh yeah, and it turns
bug.
him into the vampire thing.
Yeah. It's like I think that's the same concept.
Oh, I was looking at the one on the left, and I immediately got the Chinese finger trap thing combined with the thing from Da Vinci Code.
Oh, okay.
All right, Chase and Amy.
I was about to make that joke, but I knew you had it.
You knew I had to do it.
Yeah.
I'll accept that.
These are all raised journals stuff, Jedi texts.
Oh,
Right.
Oh my God! Everybody thinks I'm stuck up because of my British accent.
No, this makes her a villain, doesn't it?
In old Star Wars, it did. Everybody be like, I don't trust her. She talks funny.
Talks like
See, smart people do trigonometry, but people who barbecue do trigonometry. Okay. Yeah. When you're fucking hungry, you're gonna fucking like that joke. So like,
I'm
this
hungry,
guy I
and I
like.
don't like that joke.
I like this one.
Yeah, that
This
guy's
guy.
cool.
Yeah, that's my dude right there. This is Quiznos, the Quiznos monster fucking dude. Like, gotta fucking roll.
So if I were directing one of those scenes in Star Wars that doesn't need to be in the movie, but they still shoot, it would be that little fly guy, and he's walking, and then like you see a Ronto take a giant shit, and then
He just buries himself.
fucking dives into it.
Oh,
and
he's
then,
like, ah.
and his giant partner's just like, ah.
Yeah, why not? This is great. Look at it's a giant fucking BB-8 tank, dude.
Oh, come on.
The BB tank.
It's the
Come on,
fucking-
that should have.
That's a movie. That's a toy waiting to happen.
How much weed was
That-
he smoking when he drew that?
That made more sense than BB-8 driving a tank with little arms and shit in fucking The Last Jedi, bro. Like, I like the BB tank.
Oh man,
It's great, dude.
That so needed to be in the movie.
that is so
That's a toy.
dumb.
And they could have been magnetic, so they'd be on the underside of those. They drop them on the fucking hull of the Star Destroyers, and they're rolling across them.
Yeah, and it
And
could,
they're
like,
underneath them.
turn to the sides and things as it's going. That would have been great.
They use quantum locking, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
Who did that piece? Because they're fucking
Luke
insane.
Launt Davies.
Okay, Mr. Davies.
I was just having some fun with this tank. I'm not sure I would have actually wanted to see it realizing the fun, but fuck off. We all would.
Oh, look,
That
there's
would have
the-
been the highest selling toy, dude, because that would have been the great extension of the remote control BB-8. Got the little tanks and shit, and you could put your dudes.
Oh, God, that
Like
would've
Captain
been so
Power, they can fire at one another and pop up the fucking.
Well, I would buy into the idea that somewhere on a world in Star Wars is a culture that's all balls, and they made BB-8. You know what I mean? Now
and they go deep.
they go deep, they go balls deep. And
Yeah,
they have everything that is like that. But
And the show suddenly went down there.
No,
Got
I love the fucking BB tank. That's so far is my favorite thing.
that would have been great. I would have loved seeing that in the movie. It would be funny.
yeah, there's the baby I talked about back in the day.
This is all the Mortis, the vampire.
It's the
thing.
it's the
Oracle's what
the
they're calling it, but
Mustafar. It's the Mustafar Oracle, who that Kylo was gonna go and get the Wayfinder from. And I'll be honest with you, like that whole sequence with the Wayfinder is beautifully shot, but it does play very strange because you're like, I don't get why this is significant. I don't get that it. I saw footage from that and didn't know it was Mustafar.
yeah,
It just
well,
doesn't
That
play.
was far either because it didn't look
where
like,
he could
you know,
just have gone to Vader's fucking castle. You know what I
No,
mean?
that
And,
that
like,
is Vader's castle. That is Vader's
but
castle.
you don't need
It's
all these
movie.
creatures. He could just go into the same castle they shot for Rogue One, and you know what I mean. And so you would know
No,
what it is. But
That's
like,
what's dumb is that's where that is.
right?
It doesn't look
and
it.
it's been destroyed.
Well, that's the
and-
dumb thing. Don't destroy it.
Or
Like,
destroy or blow a giant hole in it and have like some of it still there, but the castle has fallen, and then he goes into the rubble. You know, something.
or he's using the Force to move the lava out the way and shit, like parting the Red Sea. Right? It's a Red Sea of lava.
Yeah.
Oh shit! You know.
Yeah.
That would have, you know, we got Moses out of him and everything. Moses is the dark
Moses.
side.
He'll go down on you on your period. It means all kinds of things.
JJ
It's
just
symbolic
got a
all
weird
kinds of stuff.
fucking sense of humor, dude. Like it's a giant
deep.
baby.
Yeah.
He's so weird. I want roaches and swamp babies.
Swamp
Yeah.
babies with roaches coming out of their heads.
I wonder if JJ hangs out with Guillermo del Toro and he doesn't know Guillermo's fucking with him. You know? What you need
Luke
is a
says-
baby. Oh shit, baby.
Luke
Hold
says
on.
the Eye of Webbish Bog concept is one of the things in the recent films that was cut that I really wish I had seen. It could have been a beautiful practical set piece. Yeah, it could have been. And AJ wants me to do a cover of the Mighty Mighty Bostons.
Claude.
Anyways. Yeah, Claude, that was these guys
Okay.
right here.
No,
That-
this is
that was-
pod racing.
Yeah, they were going to push those guys really hard, and they kind of backed off on it, which I think was smart. But they did become celebration fodder almost. Oh yeah, right there, the monkey Kylo Ren is cool. Right there, see him down there? Look at him down.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
right there.
And he's smoking.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That
wouldn't
should be
make-
in Spaceballs though, too.
Yes, it
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah. It's great being sick. It never ends.
Here's my giant dick just going over. It's so weird. It's so weird. This is all stuff I don't care for in the movie. Yeah.
Let's look at Dio real quick. I want to see what do they say about him. Did they say anything interesting?
At first, I saw Dio. I thought, oh, he's not cute enough because he doesn't have eyes. I went to an anthropomorphic face, but now I love him. I love his design. I love the way he's operated. JJ was really smart about that. Even with BB-8, he knew the ratio of symmetry to asymmetry and all those things. They're so right. It's based on the human face. It's got to be familiar enough, and it seems approachable and yet defamiliarized enough that this is nothing. It's got to be familiarized, and then it's got to be a little bit defamiliarized, because we're not going to be able to relate to it unless he has like a face. He's got, look at that. Everyone's got a face like that. Look at that face. I mean, look at that fucking face. Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, they like Dio, like at one point didn't really have a voice, and then they gave him one, and then they ended up, I think, going with the concept that what's his name, Palpatine's minion, was abusing him, like it was Palpatine's minion's droid.
Very special Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, and but yeah, once again, it
missed opportunity to get one of those little droid. Like if Babu Freak was like a Maddox, he was like Babu Freak should have been like Spike. Was it Spike in Toy Story?
It's Babu Frick. You're calling him Babu Freak.
Yeah, well, that's what I would call him. Hey, Freak. So you put like a battle droid on a fucking BB-8 ball, right? And it's got this little fucking battle droid head running around.
Well, I like how that one has the shuttle Tidarium head right here,
right
up on the upper top left. Imperial shuttle.
Yeah, right
this
there.
one right here. Right.
Yeah, and that almost makes sense to the concept of who he would have been and what he would have been doing. Like that was my thing with that guy is why would Palpatine's minion, who is this evil cultist, have this adorable little fucker running around with them? I guess you have what's his name in Cad Bane too. So I guess I should shut up about that.
Oh, Toto.
Toto 360, yeah.
Yeah,
But I still think that it, like in this instance, he should have looked really, really scary, but been adorable in personality or something. Oh, Radio Shack droids! I love that's what those remind me of. Those Radio Shack guys. I was one of those. I never got them. The Radio Shack
These
robots.
are a bunch of Dio designs.
There's the little rubber ducky.
All of these.
Oh,
like
look,
that's
we have,
actually fucking Doctor Who. Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say the Doctor Who one right there.
Well, we'll see. But wait, go back to the duck. That was the original story, by the way, that I was told that Dio was that he was like a baby, and they were calling him a baby, and that BB-8 fixed him and turned him back on or something like that, and then he follows them around like the little duckling from Looney Tunes or whatever, the little duck who thinks that like Jerry or Tom is his parent all the time and stuff. That was the idea for the character. And then that was the shooting idea.
The duckling gives the Emperor a hot foot at the end, right? And that's how they defeat.
Yeah.
Right, turns out that's how Palpatine actually screams.
Yeah. And right there you can see the duck, which I feel is confirmation of that idea and of that story beat that I heard. And but yeah, what they did was probably kind of better, but still did not need to exist. I would have rather have had more of a send off for BB-8 in the trilogy of his main films or something than having Dio come in.
Yeah.
Sandworms. Horse. Yeah. All right. Horse. Lame.
No, it's Burning Man. It's Burning Man Star Wars up there.
Yeah, they should have went to Burning Con, which is that one planet, Burning Con, which is like, come on.
And then more of that stuff, and then this is the
does it ever acknowledge this as having been the opening of the film at one point? That might have been completely editorial, because that was
Star Wars story. No.
And it was moved out of the front of the film fairly late in the movie. Like I want to say I was hearing it was getting moved out of the opening of the movie in about October. The movie was coming out in December. So it was very late that was the opening.
If the original Star Wars was reflective of the 1960s counterculture, hippies versus Nazis, Carter, the art director, wondered who the United Tribes were now. Good time to be figuring that out. 3 movies in. Referencing painter James Windsor's work, Christ's Entry into Brussels in 1889, Carter discussed the coming together of the resistance, the shipbuilders, spice runners, and hordes to the evil. He goes, Star Wars is a tragedy with a happy ending. How do you learn that? Star Wars is really just Apocalypse Now with the happier ending. Motherfucker. You know? Essentially, you go to a temple and you encounter the darkness and you have to determine whether you're going to become the darkness or not. And there's a ritual. The film would have just been about Willard going to assassinate Kurtz. Apocalypse Now, not real life. But instead, it's become part of a much bigger blood sacrifice. And that made it powerful. Coppola could leave that movie when Willard walks out the temple, but Star Wars has to go another step and redeem it. Like it's a lot for art direction, guys. Like,
I mean,
so like, no, this is one of those things where you can easily see how many times George probably had to fight off people becoming the director of Star Wars or wanting to be the director of his movie, right? Like, no, we know it better than you. I can see why he was wary of Kurtz's and Dijkstra's and, you know, and even Kirshner to an extent, right? Like,
right.
I can see, because this is one of those things where I hear an art director talk about how, no, it's really this. And I'm like, maybe the fucking director should know what it should be. Like, no offense, you know, but whatever.
Well, maybe they talked and agreed on that. But I mean,
doubtful.
At the same time,
I doubt JJ's ever referencing Apocalypse Now, man. Like, I'm sorry.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah.
He did reference Apocalypse Now.
Did he?
And Force Awakens when the TIE fighters are coming in.
With the two sides,
Art directors do that, not JJ. I just don't.
That shot, by the way, was originally for Jakku, and it didn't fit, and then they had to change it, so they changed the planet of it.
I thought that wasn't Jakku.
Or it was originally for Takodana.
Planet where Maz's place was.
Yeah. It doesn't. It's like a nondescript. The shot was created in a vacuum, and it was not put into anywhere specifically. It was just a shot created to create a shot.
We got this neat idea. We're just gonna do it.
We're just gonna do it.
This is the Starman moment where she heals the snake.
Yep.
Oh, right.
Snake go.
Filoni Jr.'s like, yeah.
She actually knows how to heal my snake.
Yeah, right.
This is a cool visual, building it into the trunks.
Yeah.
Right. That I like. Because I used to do that with like kid. We put all the action figures in little tree trunks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That looks cool.
My brother did that stuff.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then more babies.
Webbish bug.
Make the lips wet.
The webbish blogger.
I kind of like the way it looks. It does look creepy. So
yeah. No, and I like the idea that like on there, like on Mustafar, like Darth Vader's hanging out with all these little like satanic minions. There was this like part in one of the early drafts of Empire Strikes Back when you see Vader in his castle, and he's sitting on the throne, and he takes out a shank of meat and throws it on the ground, and these like satanic creatures run out and start eating it, and he's just like, that's just Darth Vader, man. It's kind of shit he has around his castle. It's just
that it looks like Dagobah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if it's in the middle of the remnants of his castle, I get it, but none of this says Mustafar. Trees.
Yeah, well,
just don't get it.
Yeah, well, that's what they ended up going. Oh, now it's the remnants of Vader's castle, and the forest started to grow back after Darth Vader died. They made a whole story about it in the VR game about how the planet is rejuvenated.
Here we go. My challenge at the moment is how to evolve Mustafar so that maybe the lava has dried up. Like, then it's not Mustafar. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, it's just the lava dried up. You know, it got fucking dehydrated lava. All right. I mean, cool. No, see, lava does cool, and it actually, yes, I get it, but it's fucking Star Wars. It's a lava planet, right? Yeah. Like, it'd be one thing if these three films had a sense of geography like the prequels have, where you have Coruscant, Naboo, like you know where these planets are. If they showed Mustafar and it was all this husk, you know, volcanic rock dried up thing, which is steam coming off, it'd be one thing. But it's just, they set this up in the loosest of ways that I just feel like I almost feel like they don't have another idea for a location, so they just say Mustafar.
Yeah.
You know, like most there. That's that way it ties together. You
Well,
know?
I really wanted to show it coming back, though. I mean, the areas around volcanoes and all that are highly fertile,
hmm
so they should have made it greener.
Yeah.
no,
or,
it should just be a lava planet.
Though that's what I
no,
agree
no, but if
completely
you
with
had-
you. It should just be a lava planet. I mean,
But
I'm
I
just saying though, it's the art on that, just the way it looked. I'm like, that's not Mustafar. It doesn't look anything like Mustafar. Because when I saw the movie and sitting down, I'm like, he's on weird red planet killing people.
You like how they Joss Whedoned the final footage and just added a red filter over all this? Because this is what it's supposed to be, is a dried out, like let's say Mustafar is like a volcano, it goes inactive, right? So now it's inactive. But
what is the black rock called? Like after like lava has, is that magma?
no, magma's actual
No,
lava.
Magma's
if
the
it's
fire,
rotten,
right?
it's
What is-
obsidian.
What is like the like it's not like the diamond
Obsidian or whatever, right? Like,
Obsidian.
but it's just like just straight up black rock though. It's not
it's just dried out lava.
yeah. Well, it should have looked like that. They should have just made it like
did.
that.
My guess is it didn't look like Mustafar, so they added a red filter over
They
the
literally
footage
put a
to
red
make it
filter
look
over it.
red. Yeah, because you could see here that's what they're going for. But there's no sense. The problem is, I even imagine in the original footage, there wasn't any it was all quiet, you know, kind of thing. Like it's silent. So I don't know. Man.
Oh, my sources told me about this part of the movie, by the way, that about 20 minutes was cut. There was
That
a
makes sense.
lot of shit, a lot of stuff going on in the opening. There was more of like the stuff with like there being like a battle and with the natives there, like stuff that just really truly didn't need to be in the movie. Ultimately,
could just been Vader's castle.
well
It could have been like the it could have been the Kylo version of Raiders of the Lost Ark, where he's going into Vader's castle and it's his temple filled with booby traps and shit.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get the fucking Hulk. I'm not saying the same under the rope and grab his fucking saber,
why
his
not?
hood and shit.
Why not? That's better. A little better.
Yeah.
That would have
Right.
been far better. That would have been great.
Natives. Like, there's time for this. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was really frustrating because I remember when I talked about the Knights of Ren were in the movie, people kept
Right
seeing
here.
those natives as being Knights of Ren, and I'm like, that's not them. And it turns out that's not the Knight of Ren that he's fighting. He fights them later. It's Ben when he fights.
I do also, by the way, like when it's more of a solid red with a little white core.
them.
Yeah.
By the way, I
I like
like
that
that
better,
broadsword look.
And I also like it where it looks kind of just like it's on fire rather than some of the other ways, like where he's moving it like that way. It looks like parts of it you can see are trailing off of it as he swings and stuff.
I like it hot. What's
comment.
that? What is
Hidden base
wait.
version 3.
I'm gonna who was it? Tom McFarlane? What is that? Is that a
Yeah.
dick coming for him? What is it? What's going on there?
Oh, bud, it's a big dick. It's a big one.
The Millennium
one,
Falcon
buddy.
looks
Like-
like a big dick. Walmart will not sell the Millennium Dick Falcon.
Yeah. Oh, good old Toddy here. Got you with the big dicks. Like- I know. This is Kylo command ship art. Right?
Oh, that's cool.
Doug Chang.
Really?
Yeah.
I've always loved the ship design, so I mean, there's so much you can do with a wedge of pizza, but hey,
Yeah, I love pizza.
someone
Here's a unused destroyer conference room, right? Right out the
Yeah.
Death Star. Actually, I like this shot better. Look at they brought someone's head. That's the fucking
that's the guy's head. The
Last Starfighter. No, the
It's dude from the Last
Julio?
Starfighter. Perfect.
yeah, the shape changers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that moment was kind of surprising. I didn't think that they would cut off his head and throw it on the table. I was like, oh, okay, they're actually doing it.
Looks like a coffin. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
I did that for a boardroom scene, and when I was working on this Death Junior comic that was supposed to be for the next game, I had a boardroom scene. I made the table a coffin, and they were like, "This is ridiculous." I'm like, "It's a fucking game about a little Reaper. What's the difference?" Like,
Yeah, that's great.
That's awesome. That's what it should have been. Should have seen some of your little Reaper stuff. I really like it.
This is I don't know what that is. Torture device.
Torture device?
Yeah.
That's
That's Chewbacca.
a Sith tickler. That's what I believe it's called.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, this
it's
is
not a
when
good
Jim
torture.
Caviezel wanted to play the Wookiee. All right.
Yeah, the Chewbacca torture scene that was filmed.
That would have been if they had captured him in the beginning and had him the whole time, and that was his connection to Han, is that he's torturing his uncle. Like that would have been some fucked up cool shit. But
That definitely would have proven how evil he had become.
Yeah.
Master Tort initially. What is this? Is Kylo Ren's Sanctuary version? Different sanctuaries, which they just went with the white room at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Which
That was
either of those two pieces of concept. Actually, any of those concept art would have been far better.
They I heard that they went with the white sterile environment to juxtapose against the place where Rey was, so that there was no shadow and confusion about which environment was which. So that's why it went into that very lit direction.
Huh.
Yeah. Whoa.
You know when you
Ken
have
are getting all fucking bonered right now, right?
Yeah. Mini rigs? Did somebody say mini rigs?
We're back, baby! Right? Like I imagine the guys who run Kenner are the old guys from Coming to America from Trading Places, right?
There's like a door in Cincinnati, and it says Mini Rigs Division, and there's just two really old guys in there that are just waiting for the call. And they're like, "We're back!
Hold on, we're back!" Yeah.
Oh, and the whole chase sequence that they had was like, oh look, it's ice pirates with more money.
Yeah, space herpes. Ray gets space herpes. That is kind of neat, though.
That's kind of cool. It's like they wanted the thing from Aliens, but they just decided to make it rolling treads from a sandwalker.
Yeah,
Orlando. That's what he's in.
Sandcrawler. Yeah.
he's just rolling deep. Yeah.
Like the fucking, that's a clever design.
Yeah, it's like there's just never, in my opinion, there's not really ever a lot that I can knock about the designers or the look of things in the movies. Like they got that so down. It's
just the ratio of stuff. Like how many festival concept pieces do you really need to get the fucking idea? That's all. And look, having done plenty of concept art, I believe most things are over fucking designed. Mm-hmm. You really need a clear vision with 10 to maybe 20 at the tops key images that set the mood for everything. And that should be developed, I firmly believe, with the director. The art director should be creating those with the director in a very minimal environment. And then you only need, like, if you have this, if this is your fucking thing, that sets up the whole everything. But you don't need this, and then maybe this direction, and then maybe that direction, and then maybe that, and then maybe... No, you don't. You really don't, because it's just they spent a lot of time on this fucking shit when there's no key feeling or direction or mood for the entire film. That's why the film feels like a juxtaposition of different things mashed together. It doesn't feel cohesive in any way.
Yeah.
It's too many fucking... Look, there again. Oh, look, I went to Burning Man. Let's do that. Okay, then that's the thing. Then that's the key image, like paint it really well and then build off those images. But
we took the fire off Mustafar. We took the fire to the fire festival.
We didn't start the... Oh, we did. We did start the fire.
We did start it.
Kit Fisto. There's Kit Fisto's face.
That's kind of cool. Akbar skull version.
I want the movie to start with Kylo Ren sending a transmission. Palpatine's back. By the way, I'm skull fucking Admiral Akbar right now.
It's like here, we're trying to make peace with why there's water on Mustafar. So we're going to make it a boiling lake. And then we're in the forest. There's ash and burning trees and things like that. Also, there's colonial settlers there. People have taken Mustafar back. That's why the forest that we're doing the fighting only has saplings. We've only been there for 20 or 30 years rather than hundreds of years at big trees. Why wasn't it just Dagobah then? Star Wars is very simplistic in its readability.
As JJ said...
So fucking, it's all this weird lore that you're like, no one's gonna get that when you're watching this shit in like a 3-minute fucking. You have to read it and get it. Read it and get it. That's it.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't read. You are completely right there.
Dagobah was one of the first thoughts I had when I saw the initial scene. I'm like, except for it's too red.
Yeah.
Like
Honestly,
seeing
I just saw Black
a-
Mark because I was too close
but-
to that part.
seeing like a vampire Sith Mortis fucking thing, right? Where you can see some skulls from some other Jedi that may have gone there to fucking stop this thing and didn't make it, you know, is a great fucking one-off idea, you know?
Yeah.
But, oh man, so look, they lit a fire and it's so weird.
Yeah.
Babu Free. Oh, this is the monkey, right? The monkey chip.
The
thing.
Babu Fricker.
No, well, the monkey isn't Babu Frick, right? Babu Freak is the little...
Yeah,
little
Babu.
droid guy.
I don't know the
Babu.
monkey's name. I forget. Star Destroyer Factory version 1.
Oh, I thought that was like sandworm teeth.
No. The idea for the design vernacular is that exiles have gone to this dark place in the galaxy and they've continued their belief in the Empire. Also, the technology has evolved like in a time capsule. They've decided not to reinvent the Star Destroyer. They've just got their Imperial Star Destroyer. The Loyalists are almost like Nazis in Argentina, so to speak, but they have these resources of the Third Reich with them. It would have been the great basis for the first film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was the whole point of the First Order, is they were the Empire rallying at, Argentina.
And they're clearly winning at the end of The Last Jedi, so why would they...
God, yeah.
but just hear me out, guys. What if they don't actually build the Star Destroyers? They just fly out of ice from nowhere.
Oh, like in Battlefield Earth, they just been sitting in a hangar for
What if-
150 years.
What if they just fly out? And what if they're the old Star Destroyers, but the stormtroopers are the new ones? Because that's a mind fuck, right? Try to get your mind
Here we
around
go.
that.
So this is Coruscant.
Yeah,
Coruscant landing version 1. Instead of finding his way to Exegol in the early November 2017 version of the Rise of Skywalker story, Kylo Ren instead takes a shuttle to a desolate, ash-covered Coruscant. The once bustling city streets are now overrun by giant wolves. Inside the abandoned Jedi Temple, Kylo takes a central elevator down to the temple's deepest level.
And he watches his grandfather kill children. Does he do that?
That would have been far cooler right there.
Oh yeah. No, taking it was, I think it was a huge mistake to, like, if anything, they should have had Exegol attacking Coruscant again or something like that. Like all of the forces, like, they should have brought it back to the Phantom Menace in a better way than putting a battle droid in a shop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For this to have been the 9th film and the whole thing.
Also,
And,
I love the idea that the temple's still there, and you could have like called out like things where like Dooku had known where all the hidden evil Jedi shit is.
Yeah.
Dooku.
I
Can't
love
do
Dooku.
Dooku.
I can't take the Doku. Like it's Dooku. Like it's Dookie.
You know what? Dooku
Sorry.
would do not,
It means
but
poison in Japanese. It's fine.
Yeah, great, but it's Dookie. You know.
Dookie.
You know.
well, you can't spell Dookie without Dio. Remember that.
My point. There's a red version
That's cool.
of the Exegol.
Yeah.
Also, it makes more sense where you have the hangars opening up and they're not just coming out of like the dirt. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess they're trying to do the Yamato thing, but
I mean, it is. They are bad, and in the movie, the shots are badass. Like for what they are, they're pretty fucking metal. Like I dig it for what it is, but on the story level, it fails in so many ways, and it's actually almost condescendingly pushing the idea that if we think something's cool, we'll just buy into whatever it is because it's cool. That's not true.
Well, we're about at that time, folks.
Yeah, I think we have looked at it all. I think we've done it
No.
all.
No, there's actually way more.
There-
No,
oh, wow.
almost. Well, that's almost over. Let's just see really quickly. Is there anything worth mentioning? No.
Yeah,
I
I really don't.
that.
More, yeah. There's a lot of the same in this book.
That's a cool shot. That should have been in the film.
that should have been
Like that. This is what I mean by a piece of key art that sets
Yeah.
the mood. That's what I'm
Right.
talking about. Like that. No.
Yeah, it's like when Kylo's walking towards the cube on Exegol, like that shit is really cool. But I don't feel like JJ is an abstract filmmaker, and so it just, you know what I mean. I don't think he has that in him.
Maybe-
Maybe.
This is why they had snowtroopers. They thought when this thing in ice would have all been snowtrooper dudes.
Oh,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah,
When I saw
Yeah.
that, I thought Battlestar Galactica, the original series with the blue people thing.
I just
Right.
thought Star Wars, Superman the movie, which predates that.
yeah,
but
you
sure.
can see that too.
Kryptonians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but whatevs. Whatevs. So we'll
Yeah.
leave it. We'll leave it on.
On
There.
a side note, this has nothing to do with anything, but I was listening to a podcast today. I was listening to the last podcast on the left, and they were talking about neo Nazis and stuff like that. And you know what David Duke said about Anne Frank, about like the true story of Anne Frank is, she was a chatterbox. That's why they had to be quiet in the attic, because they just wanted Anne Frank to be quiet because she was a quote chatterbox. And I've been like, the fucking balls on these people. Whenever I think J.J. Abrams pushes it a bit, I think now I'm going to think of the David Duke thing. I'm going to be
That's
like,
a weird.
nah, you know what?
That's a weird way to
You know
leave
what?
this. I'm just
It's a,
saying.
it's a
Yeah.
jump. But yeah,
It is a
I
jump.
get you.
But
a jump.
in terms of pushing something and you're like, that doesn't make any sense. Well, people
Yeah.
will believe a lot of bullshit. It was kind of my point. And
That's a good analogy. People will believe a lot of bullshit. Look,
lot
if
of
I had to choose between watching Dune and The Rise of Skywalker, I'll watch Dune 100 times. You know, like it's not
Really?
even close. Yeah, I'll watch it. Yeah, I will. Because there's at least, look, I'm not going to say I'm going to enjoy it. I'll say I'll watch it because at least there's a cohesive vision across the whole fucking thing.
sure.
You know, this movie, man, is the loosest of films to me. You know, it's the weakest. I'll watch Attack of the Clones over this any day at this point. So
Well, yeah, my
Yeah.
feelings. I thought Rise of Skywalker was the weakest of all the Star Wars films. So.
yeah,
No, I think I'm with you guys on that one. I still think even as the weakest, it's still better than most things, but only if I take it piece by piece.
I
You know?
enjoyed it. I mean, I watched it recently just because I was like, did I really remember it? And it was that bad. I'm like, I still like it. It's just not the best.
Yeah, it's a Back to the Future Part 3 scenario for me. I always go, I'm so hard on it, then I watch it, and I like it a lot more after I've been hard on it. But then I'm like, and then I go to watch it again because I liked it so much the last time, and then I'm mad at it again. So,
No, I wait a few years in between.
yeah, I wish I could, but I like to hurt myself.
Dear sirs, I hereby tender my resignation as director of your company with effect from today's date and confirm that I have no claims of whatsoever nature against the company.
I like how you had to throw director in there just to get George riled up, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's not about spaceships. It's not about spaceships.
Good. Sorry about that. The interface was going stupid. I didn't mean to cut you off when you were talking.
I bought Kurtz's